Wasted. All day. Dead. Target right on me. Right here. Hit him. Reverse fire. Check the plate. Get ammo here.
System back online.
Get some. Let me back this up. Targeting that agent. Yeah. Trying to flank the base. Target located. I can do this all day.
What's up guys, Wolf here. In today's video I'm going to showcase my best solo PvE build. This is going to be the best setup that I would recommend you guys use right now for any PvE content. All the way up to legendary master difficulty, you can do it with ease. Solo legendaries are going to be quite easy with the setup as long as you follow the pieces that I have chosen and just listen to my explanation of how to use this build. Now, when you guys make a setup, obviously don't always just copy everything fully. You should always adapt the build to suit your own playstyle and situation. But in this setup, I wanted to make use of the Lexington and Turmoil because you can now actually get them. So I would recommend to use the build exactly how I have spec'd it, because it's probably the only way you can get the most out of everything, especially playing solo. So when you guys take a look at these stretch goals, which I'm going to show you right now, this is how you're going to be getting the Lexington and the Turmoil if you don't have them. So there is currently, let's quickly have a look at this. There is an event going on, which is called the Summer Swarm. You can get some new apparel, but you can get exotics, raid exclusive exotics, and also Lexington and Turmoil. There's also a season XP boost. So get your season reward, your tiers to level 100, and then you guys will be able to farm from 100 to 110. So as you guys can see, this is level 100. Make sure to get this. Then you farm these caches. All you need to do is do priority objectives and make sure you follow this icon for seasonal XP, not normal XP. And you can get these 10 caches, and then once you claim them, you can go back and restart and do it again, and you can get them from these Summer Swarm caches. So make sure you guys go and farm these. You'll be able to actually go and pick up the Lexington and Turmoil. This is only going to last for like, let's take a look and see how long actually it's going to last for, because we might not get this again. So 2 weeks and 5 days left. So just under 3 weeks left. Make sure you guys go and do it. And the way that I do the farming for these things is you can do normal missions like invaded missions or just normal replaying of missions. Directives don't make a difference, I believe. So just don't do that. Just go and farm priority objectives. Try and do open world strongholds like Washington strongholds, and you can get a bunch. So you see here, this is going to be seasonal XP. You also get some other rewards. Then you can get this plus a certain percentage. So try and do the strongholds, guys. So what you can do is re-roll, and you go over here, do a stronghold. As you can see, you can get quite a lot here. And I think you get bonuses for doing it in a group as well. Just play the game. The devs have added a way to actually get this from normal missions. So as you guys can see, you can go and do Lincoln Memorial on Heroic. And as you can see right there, so it's not normal XP, it's the seasonal XP here, 398 plus 10%. So farm that, get your stretch goals going, and then you'll be able to make this build if you guys don't have the pieces I'm using. Simple. This is the build that I use primarily for any solo gameplay in this game. And I have had this build for a while now. I haven't posted this exact setup. But if you take a look at my loadouts, this is literally my solo PvE build. And this is there's nothing funny going on here. It is just straight up, in my opinion, what is going to be the best to get through content as efficiently and as easily as possible. And this setup is definitely, in my opinion, the best solo build right now in the game. Now, there are many different other options. Like I say, it's always up to you. Your playstyle might not be good at this. You might not want to use a shield. You don't have to use a shield. It's just a skill choice. Maybe you want more reds, more damage. Everyone's going to be different. But for me, and I think in general, this setup will blow you away if you've never tried it before. But I'm sure you've tried a similar kind of combination. Striker Memento is very popular. But what I recommend doing is using a Striker 4-piece, including the chest piece, and then Turmoil and Memento. This is nothing new, but this is what I recommend to you guys right now to give a try, especially if you've never used Turmoil before. Turmoil can actually be not that powerful. How this works is you spread 50% of your damage to other enemies. If you are going to be using like a rifle build, I have posted that before, you can do 26 million damage to 2 enemies with 1 bullet. I will leave a link down below for that build. All you got to do is just put Turmoil on that setup. The Turmoil knee pads are great. Now, if you don't have high damage, this could just hinder you. The problem with Turmoil a lot of people have with it is that if an enemy is pushing you, you only do 50% damage to the enemy that you want to kill. That's pushing you like a shotgunner. That's why you need to have quite high weapon damage. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to kill the enemies that press you. But the cool thing about Turmoil knee pads is you can focus the tanky guy and kill upwards of 4. You can kill a whole wave of legendary NPCs, including their robotics, like drones and healing boxes, by just focusing the tank or the tankiest enemy, which is amazing. And it helps you kill enemies you can't even see, and the distance is quite far. So 30 meters, which is a good distance. So these are very powerful. And the nice thing about these things are they come with crit chance and crit damage, and they're a Cheska, which gives us extra crit chance. Now with this setup, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 reds, and I've still got 1.5 million armor. I've also got a yellow and a tier 4 shield. Memento gives me extra core attributes. Now, the thing I want to mention now is if you guys only play challenging or maybe heroic, you are not going to stack this chest piece up, because Striker's chest piece increases the amount of stacks you can get. It's worth it, and it's actually necessary here to have these two. But what I would recommend doing is if you guys only play the lower tier content and you want to use Turmoil, I would still keep the build the same. You can always use a Cheska chest piece with Obliterate, but what I would recommend doing is just go all blues. Obviously the Turmoil is going to be red. You're going to have 2 reds here, but go all blues. That's what I would recommend you guys do, because then you can absolutely just mince through content in the game and actually maintain your stacks. But here's the thing. You don't really even need to go that high. If you need it, you're going to get it, but you don't really need it. You can melt enemies just as easily. So just keep that in mind though, as you may struggle. What I would do then in that situation is on the tanky enemies, try and put an ACS-12 shotgun, the drum shotgun, and get stacks with that first. And then you will actually be able to get almost full stacks. You should be able to maintain it because the high fire rate of the Lexington, which is still the best high-end assault rifle in the game. So the Striker's chest piece, like I said, it will increase it. It may be quite tricky. On Legendary or even Heroic and above, you won't have any problems keeping the stacked up. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, if you're killing them quick enough, that's fine. If you need the extra damage, it'll be there for you to obtain from stacking. So that's something that we're going to have to deal with if we want to use Memento and Turmoil, which is definitely worth it. So I can do 1,000,000 damage a shot. So that's around about 500,000 damage spread across. And that kind of varies, but this setup is just perfect for that. So especially considering I've got 30 expertise. So you don't need expertise. Just keep that in mind. And you'll probably even stack the Striker's chest piece a bit easier that way. So the Striker's pieces, guys, it's quite simple. 4 pieces of Striker. Every single attribute on this build is critical hit chance, and every single modification is critical hit damage. Simple. If you guys have enough crit chance, depending on what weapon you decide to use, then you can go for crit damage on the attribute. Just check your crit chance here. Have no less than 54%, especially if you decide to use Obliterate. So I've got pretty decent crit damage, and I can get over 40k regen when Memento is stacked up. And that's the cool thing about Memento. This is why I've chosen it. You pick up trophies. You can run through enemies. You also get skill efficiency, which means your shield is stronger. Your decoy lasts longer. And you get extra weapon damage, high regen, bonus armor on trophy pickup. It's really good. You guys know Memento by now. Go farm targeted loot backpacks if you don't have it. You should get this pretty easily. Then that's pretty much the way we set the build up. You want to get your stacks up, you blast enemies, you do damage to enemies across the map. It's a really good, powerful build. And this is my go-to for all content around the game. Whenever I'm playing PvE solo, I like to use this. It just works perfectly. Turmoil spitting damage, Memento keeping me alive and giving me loads more. But the Lexington is going to be the best setup here, or the best choice here. Very high damage. Now it's around about a 3.5% increase over other ones, but it is worth it. Now, if you're using Tinkerer Mask, this is no longer the best. You can actually get more damage from other sources, but then you can't use Memento. So for a solo build, I would still prefer the way I've set it up now over Tinkerer. That's just how it is. So Lexington Detox, make sure you've got it here. It comes loaded with these stats, max rolled. So just don't re-roll the attributes, guys. Make sure you re-roll the talent and go for Killer. You can use Fast Hands. You can go for Optimist. It doesn't matter. But I would use Killer. It's one of the best talents in the game for solo especially. Scorpio, or you can use the ACS-12, which is going to be quite nice. You can get the perfect named ACS-12 with Extra, which gives you a larger magazine. That also works. But Lexington with Killer is what I'd recommend. Make sure you try and farm at least 2 of these guns. The drop chance is not great for me. Hopefully you guys are a bit luckier. So you can use whatever secondary you want. Scorpio is nice for dealing with very tanky bosses. I like to use this for boss fights. It's actually really powerful. So give this gun a try. Just make sure you put Detox on it. Pistol, Orbit Pistol works good. Detox and Perfect Finisher. You get a lot of extra damage. Decoy, Shield. You do not need a shield with this build. It just makes you a lot tankier, and you would be silly not to use it. Gunner spec for extra armor on kill. That's it. This is a very plain build that a lot of people have seen, but maybe not this specific combo. I just wanted to post this because this is my favorite solo build right now, even with Tinker out. It just gives you everything. This is the ultimate one-piece build. If you guys want one setup in the game, this is the one that I'd recommend. And by the way, Turmoil is perfect playing solo. If you can even use this build in a group, you can take this into a group. What I would do is probably just have a bit more reds though. So just roll 2 reds here instead of blues. but then you'll be able to keep your chest piece stacked up fully. You'll be doing loads of damage to multiple enemies. And the only thing is as well, you may want to change killer out, but it depends. You can't proc it through the turmoil, so you might need to go for something like optimist or measured. That could be measured, could be really good to use as well. So or streamline if you don't want to use a shield. But you can tweak this build, you can adapt it to suit your own playstyle. But like I said, if you want to use turmoil, memento turmoil is kind of what you want to go for here. And memento is easy to stack. Let me give you guys a quick little trick how to stack it. Yeah, pre-stack it before any difficult missions. Even if you want to play in a group, you can pre-stack it. So what I normally do is, but by the way, because you're going to be killing enemies with turmoil around the corners, you'll be able to stack your memento pretty quickly, even in a group. I go to this mission right here, Federal Emergency Bunker, put it on like challenging or whatever, and run through the first part where there's these blue lights, these blocks. Get the trophies, restart the mission, get the trophies, and just go do a mission. Easy. That's how you get memento stacked in like 2 minutes. So that's it for the description, guys. And I hope you did enjoy the gameplay. Any legendary is an absolute breeze. I mean, you can see by the gameplay. The build speaks for itself. So I hope you did enjoy it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.